And as a result of this Treaty of Westphalia, we see the rise of new monarchies. Okay, many new monarchies are going to rise. If we see why did the new nation states rise, if we see this term nation state, what is the meaning of nation state? Where the cultural boundary, जैसे nation का मतलब क्या होता है? Where people who are having same kind of culture, they are together. Nation is a cultural concept. State is a political concept. State means, just have a basic understanding of this. And whenever somebody says nation, it's a cultural concept and it is linked to community, okay, and their tradition. When somebody says state, it is an abstract concept which includes four things. First of all, people, then territory in which they are going to reside. Number 3 will be a government, okay, which is going to exercise sovereignty. So whenever somebody says state, four characteristics come together. Whenever somebody says nation, it is mostly about community. When we use the word nation state, जब बीच में dash आ जाता है, it means the cultural boundaries and the territorial boundaries, they are same. वो दोनों same है. So like if somebody says Germany, Germany is a nation state because the people, they are bounded by which kind of culture? They are bounded by German language, they are bounded by Christianity. So that becomes a common kind of phenomena and it becomes a nation state. If you see the case of France, it is bounded by which language? French. It is bounded by again Catholic, largely a Catholic country. That is again becomes a kind of nation state. If we see the case of India, India does not fit this concept of nation state because we have unity in diversity. We have large number of different communities who are supporting different kinds of ideologies, different kinds of beliefs. However, we have a belief that we can live with each other. We can coexist. That's why India's form of nationalism is very different than European form of nationalism. European form of nationalism, they said भाई कि minimum हमारे differences होने चाहिए. But in case of India, difference is the first thing that we have, difference is the last thing that we have. ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक सब कुछ अलग अलग ही है. But still we can coexist. This is our power. This is our way of nationalism. But in case of Europe, the concept that we are discussing, we see the rise of these nation states because of several factors. Like number 1 is the decline of feudalism. Previously, these states, these kings, they were dependent upon nobles. Okay. However, now the feudal were now going down. King was now going to control more people, more assets, whatever they within their territories. Crusade, high noble mortality weakened the feudal structure. Large number of wars were fought by them. That's why the important nobles, they started dying in various of the wars. And as a result of these crusades, the feudal structure started declining. The king became very powerful. Why? Because now there were new warfare techniques. The moment they started using gunpowder on large scale, so what happened? It changed war strategies, reduced the effectiveness of knights. Previously, the knights used to fight with their swords. Okay, उनको title दिया जाता था. But आज के डेट में आपके हाथ में gun दे दिया. If you know how to shoot, that's it. Okay, you don't need knights right now. Then English longbow, it also increased the battlefield damage. Okay. 30 years war, it demonstrated a decline of knighty warfare effectiveness. So that's why the rise of the strength of the king, it depended upon decline of feudalism. It depended upon the rise of new kind of warfare techniques. Then growing unpopularity of the church, because in many areas, church was not able to fulfill the religious feeling. It was not able to fulfill the spiritual needs of the people in their areas. And that's why the land and the wealth, church controls a large part of it, but people wanted that there should be some form of equality. And that equality can only come when the king is ready to divide it among the people. That's why the power should get concentrated with the king rather than with the church. Fifth, a 10% tax which was imposed by them. It was not liked by the peasant. Farmer को पसंद नहीं था. As I've already told you, 80% of their income, it was going in one or the other form of taxes, and religious tax भी देना पड़ता था. Like today, you know, in our constitution, we cannot give any kind of religious tax. कोई tax impose नहीं कर सकती हमारी state. Fees हो सकती है, और दर्शन करने जाना तो 500-1000 रुपए, that is different. But from your income, you do not have to necessarily give any form of tax. that is also a part of your fundamental right. But this is not in every country of the world. Countries like Austria, they do have a religious tax even till today. Then ecclesiastical courts, courts को इतना lavish इन लोगों ने बना दिया था, तो more power than royal courts लगता था. That's why there was always an incentive with the king to reduce the power of church and plus the power of excommunication. Whoever used to question them, उनको बोलते थे नहीं आप जाओ यहाँ से. Used by the Pope to challenge and humiliate kings. King को भी humiliate करते थे उससे. Henry IV of Germany excommunicated by Pope Gregory VII. Black Church inability to explain the plague. When plague was spreading in the Europe, people asked Pope कि what is the reason why it is spreading, like कोरोना के टाइम अगर कोई पूछता what is the reason, है ना, is not God now loving its creature, humans को पसंद नहीं करता है क्या? So Pope was not able to explain why the plague is spreading. So people lose their faith in God whenever there is large scale destruction. In fact, this is the phase of dissolution. समझ में नहीं आता क्या चल रहा है लाइफ में. Okay, disillusionment आती है इसके साथ में. That's why people started asking the authority of the church कि भाई when you cannot spread, when you check the spread of the plague, then why should we give you so much power? And finally, early dissenters, many people like Martin Luther, etc., they had already started questioning him. So that's why the rise of these nation states, the reason responsible for it, decline of feudalism, new warfare techniques, growing unpopularity of the church, and finally the excommunication, the various kinds of methods used by the church to humiliate kings, as well as they were not able to explain many of the events which were happening. So as a result of this, we see rise of many nation states. Like one of them, one of the earliest to rise, it was Spain. Spain was under the control of some of the Muslim Saracens known as Moors. Two major kingdoms were there, Aragon and Castile. Okay, when we talk about the Spain started becoming unified the moment we have the marriage of Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabel of Castile. The moment they got married, it eventually led to unification of Spain in 1479. They were controlled by nobles by eliminating them from royal councils. Religious policies, forced conversions of Jews and Moors, they were now turned into Christianity, establishment of Spanish Inquisition, and many non-believers, okay, they were tried, tortured, or even executed. Columbus' discovery of Americas eventually became very favorable for Spain and their economy. It became prosperous and influential in European politics. So during the same time which we were discussing, we also see the rise of many nation states. One of the first was Spain. Then we see England. Okay, in England the war was going on between the House of York and the House of Lancaster. These two were fighting among themselves. It is also known as the War of the Roses. So eventually Henry Tudor, he won and he started a new monarchy as Henry VII. Then also they went for the matrimonial alliance, and then Elizabeth of the York House was married to him. Later on they abolished the nobles' private army and insignia, their maintenance, used merchant class and minority nobles to pass laws. Special courts were created to try rebellious nobles. Parliamentary support was also there because Parliament supported that the king has the right to collect taxes. And finally diplomatic ties were also strengthened by them with Scotland, and as a result of this we see the emergence of England under Henry VII and Spain, as we already discussed, under the Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabel of Castile. So many new states were emerging during this time. Similar kinds of things we also see in France. Okay, so France is also emerging as a nation state. Initial challenges to its unity, they came from Burgundy. It is a very powerful and rebellious vassal state within the France, and this English occupation of Western France had already weakened the French authority. All of us know that the borders of England and France, they're very close by. So it's very easy to capture the area of Western France from there. That's why there is one dynasty known as Valois dynasty. This Valois dynasty fought to reclaim French territories from England. There is a very famous person known as Joan of Arc. Joan, she was a girl, okay, and she was a very ferocious fighter. A young woman claiming divine guidance emerged as a symbol of French resistance during the 100 Years' War. This 100-year war was for reclaiming the French territory, and eventually, though captured and executed by the English, Joan of Arc is having a very big legacy in France. And later on, Louis XI and consolidation of power. King Louis XI, who was the son of Charles VII, focused on securing French unity. and after this we see the house of Bourbon dynasty. The Bourbon dynasty is going to continue starting from King Louis XI. When the French Revolution will start, who was their king? King Louis XVI. King Louis XVI was the king. Okay. Then we see the strengthening of monarchy. So King Louis XI established a permanent royal army, reduced the reliance on nobles. His royal council included more lawyers than nobles and weakened their influence. So in general, they were trying to reduce the influence of noble. They were trying to increase the influence of the middle class, so that the king, okay, the king can become supreme in their own being. And due to these factors, we see rise of Spain, England as well as France. That's why the medieval Europe वो transition करने लग गया था towards the modern Europe as a result of all these. Okay, as we've already discussed, in India, the concept of nation state, it only emerges in 19th century. Before this, we were only having empires. But these people, they are fighting for their own identities. That I am Spanish, I am French, or I am English. That kind of nationality was not driven in rest of the part of the world. And India was also like that.
Hi, a very good evening to all of you. I'm Vikas Elawat. I'm a former civil servant. I was able to crack UPSC twice. In fact, in 2018, I was able to get highest marks in history optional, and they were around 324. So this year, I'm coming up with a series which I am calling Self-Study History Optional. इस series में 100 से ज़्यादा वीडियो होने वाले हैं, which are going to cover the different nuances of ancient, medieval, modern as well as world history. So those of you who are preparing for 2025, register करिए and try to get the maximum out of this specific initiative of ours. So at Prep Career IAS, we are producing results from last many years. 2023 में बहुत सारे टॉपर्स हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से थे. 2022, 21 हर साल बहुत अच्छे टॉपर्स यहाँ से निकले हैं. And they have been able to get very good marks in history optional. So those of you who are thinking कि यार start करके कितना कर पाएंगे कितना नहीं कर पाएंगे, we already have achievements with us. I was able to achieve, my students are achieving, and you can be the next. इन सेशंस में क्या होने वाला है? नंबर 1, विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन फाउंडेशन ऑफ बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम व्हाट इज हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज हिस्टोरिकल पीरियड, व्हाट इज प्रोटो हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज प्री हिस्ट्री, बेसिक लेवल. ओके. सेकंड, अलाइनमेंट विद यूपीएससी सिलेबस. जितना भी हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल का सिलेबस है वो 51 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू अलाइन ईच एंड एवरी कंसेप्ट विद द सिलेबस इटसेल्फ. Number 3, we are going to focus on answer writing. All of you know कि जो मेंस है वो ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है, वो सब्जेक्टिव लेवल पे होता है, और आप सब लोगों को आंसर राइटिंग सीखना शुरू करना पड़ेगा, है ना. वी डू नॉट हैव टू मच ऑफ टाइम, तो जिस स्टार्टिंग से ही आंसर राइटिंग शुरू करेंगे. एंड नंबर 4, द ओवरऑल पैकेज इज़ वेरी हॉलिस्टिक इन नेचर. तो अगर आप इसको अच्छे से कर लेते हैं तो जो बेसिक लेवल फाउंडेशन हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल की वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. यू आर गोइंग टू गेट मैनी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स अलॉन्ग विद दिस. ओके. 100+ सेशन है, चारों पार्ट कवर होंगे. थीम वाइज सेग्रीगेटेड डायग्राम, फ्लो चार्ट, जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट एनसीईआरटीज हैं. देखो, अगर हम सारी एनसीईआरटीज को कंबाइन कर दें, एंशिएंट, मिडिवल, मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड ऑफ वेरियस बोर्ड्स ऑफ इंडिया, तो 25 से 26 एनसीईआरटी निकल के आती हैं. उन सबको हमने कोहेरेंट फॉर्म में डिज़ाइन किया है सो दैट यू कैन लर्न द बेस्ट फ्रॉम दैट. ओके. बिकॉज देखो, हिस्ट्री में रिसर्चेज चलती रहती हैं. अभी तमिलनाडु की जो एनसीईआरटीज हैं, दे आर मोर इंपॉर्टेंट इन कंपेरिजन टू द रिसेंट हिस्ट्री देन द प्रीवियस हिस्ट्री, जो कि आर.एस. शर्मा वगैरह, सतीश चंद्रा या फिर बिपिन चंद्रा ने लिखी हैं. That's why we are covering all the NCERTs, and that's why 100+ सेशंस हो जा रहे हैं टोटल मिला के. देन 30+ वैल्यू एडेड आपको डॉक्यूमेंट मिलने वाले हैं, डेडिकेटेड आंसर राइटिंग सेशन मिलेंगे, जूम सेशंस भी करेंगे बाद में, ताकि आप लोगों की जितनी भी डाउट्स हों विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लर्निंग दे कुड बी सॉल्व्ड. ओवरऑल जो है आपको क्लास की पीपीटीज मिलेंगी, कंसेप्ट लिस्ट मिलेगा, PYQs, जितने भी PYQs हैं उनको अच्छे से हमने डिज़ाइन कर दिया ताकि आप सब उनको अच्छे से पढ़ सकें. माइंड मैप मिलेंगे पूरे सिलेबस के, वर्कबुक और लर्निंग असाइनमेंट्स मिलेंगे, एंड सेल्फ असेसमेंट टेस्ट, सो दैट वंस यू लर्न समथिंग तो साथ में उसको एटलीस्ट इवेल्युएट भी करना चाहिए ना, कि भाई हमें कुछ समझ में आया भी है नहीं आया, एटलीस्ट जितना रिक्वायर्ड है वहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं या फिर नहीं पहुँचे हैं. तो आपको करना क्या है, व्हाट वी नीड टू डू दैट, सबसे पहले आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए. ठीक है. आपको एक स्पेसिफिक गूगल शीट मिलेगा, उसमें आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए. देन एज ऑल ऑफ अस अंडरस्टैंड, हर किसी के पास लिमिटेड स्लॉट्स हैं, तो आपको एक स्पेसिफिक कॉल आएगा, एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच वी आर कॉलिंग एट स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस. बिकॉज अगर हमें आपको ये सारी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करनी है, द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स विच वी कैन हेल्प, दे आर ऑलवेज लिमिटेड इन नेचर. सो अकेडमिक काउंसलर इज गोइंग टू कॉल यू, दे गोइंग टू हेल्प यू, और दे गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है. हो सकता है आप कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, सेकंड ईयर में हो, थर्ड ईयर में हो, और यू मे हैव ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर सम टाइम एंड यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट. तो इसलिए हमें स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस चाहिए होगा, एंड फाइनली ऑन द basis of this, you're going to get the benefit of this program.